Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Randomania. And boy, do we have a big one here for you tonight. One of the Elite 8 matchups in the Zelda 1 Randomizer Random Percent Tournament. This is Winners Round 4. We are in the Elite 8, and alongside Fury SK, I'm Ferran Burgundy, and boy, this one is going to be a goodie.
Yep, despite that 5-heart start, I think we're going to have quite a fun time between these first two races, between these two competitors.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit tougher. A few more things shuffled around from what we've seen in the earlier part of the tournament. Full start shuffle now in effect, so they can start anywhere in the overworld. There's also a 50% chance that we'll have mirrored overworld. And they start with one item. It looks like they start with 4 Triforces here. And it looks like we have item shuffle along the way. So it looks like they're starting with the red candle.
Yep.
Although it's a bomb.
Yep, and most notably, it's also a mirrored overworld. As you see, it looks kind of weird at the moment on both sides. It's one of those situations now where they've got to recognize the mirror and know which spots open up for them to kind of cheat their way into.
So already things being thrown off the bat as it looks pretty much the opposite here. And it looks like we've got a take any here. And oh boy, it looks like the bombs are the item of choice all across the way. So this is fun percent.
Yep, everything's shooting bombs at them. They're going to be throwing bombs back, so fun time.
Now, interestingly, they started with the red candle, but it looked like Crimson in the take any spot there had taken the blue candle?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't realize that he's got the red candle, and he'll realize that at some point, but starting with 5 hearts, I don't actually think that you absolutely have to retry that issue out. It's a situation where you're basically gifted a potential for 18 heart pickup even though you're capped at 60.
Alright, so there's a little leeway to give here, and it looks like that was the map, and we have shapes. Oh my goodness, we have shapes, we have mystery levels.
Yeah, I mean, you got the 5-heart start gift from Garion, and then the seed from there did not roll so kind, it appears. And vanilla hints, because we see that 10, 30, 50 vanilla price.
And we do see Crimson retrying here, so a little bit of a 2-minute hit.
Yeah, he didn't hit any big items or anything, so he only basically rolled out of that take any one, so it's not going to hurt him.
Well, I think Crimson does realize now, and you can see, yep, the swords that are being thrown there by the Lionels are bombs. Yeah, you got to pull up the old menu at home to be able to recognize what it all is here. So yes, this is fun bomb percent.
Yeah, I think at some point it'll be important to check what that gambling game is, given that it's not too terribly far away from their start screen. If it's got randomized payouts, there's a chance it could roll up to 70 rupees as a payout and only deduct somewhere between 6 and 10 rupees on the low end for a whole bunch of them. If that's the situation, you can kind of abuse that gambling game.
We do see that there was the real bomb that was dropped there. And Crimson now in a mystery level. I'm wondering if that was the same level that we had seen moments ago. Yes, it is. Crimson trying to work on those danger noodles. Got them each down to a head. And we've got another level over on Antler's side. And chat thinking this might be 6 or possibly a large 7.
Well, there's a bait block, so I think the initial guess from me will probably be level 7, just because if that didn't shuffle out of its dungeon, that would kind of give guaranteed, but we don't know if that's the case.
Well, thankfully it's a bait block to nothing.
And for whatever it's worth to the runners, the book appears to potentially be for hints, but with vanilla hints, I don't think that would impact their decision making. They may just pick up the book because they're hopeful for Atlas.
Well, Crimson tried bombing a couple of places. Had no luck. Gonna try to go in from the side, see if that opens something up. Collect the big 5 rupees there, and Antler noping out of that level as well. We do have an opening on the right side. But it's key blocked. But Crimson gets a key. Does he use it here? He does. Opts to go to the right. Another key blocked room, but there's an entrance over to the right side.
It appears we have a bit of a potential for an HP roll here on these. Gria. I think that's a 6 HP red Gria, which would mean plus or minus.
Yeah, I think that when we saw earlier with those the lamb molas, the danger noodles there, that they were rolling on the lighter side, and Crimson taking death in a room full of a whole bunch of stuff. Ooh, and the Tektites are rolling a little bit high. At least the blue ones are. Alright, and there's a map here, and... oh, it's segmented.
Oh yeah, and it looks like
17 rooms?
Yeah, based on early indication, I would probably go ahead and guess that this is in all shapes 1 through 9.
Okay, and that was the compass, and ooh, we've got the mystery walls there, and I believe that was the Triforce that was passed up. Yep. Ooh, and Crimson taking a death, I believe, in the same room. Yep, no, that's not a pair of bombs that are about to go off. That is the Triforce. So, question in chat, what is fun percent? Fun percent is every item looks, or it has the same sprite.
It looks like a really nasty flag to play, but in reality, the different items have to have their basic color in play, or a similar color. So a lot of the lighter color items will look like something red, whereas a lot of the darker items will look like blue. So if you memorize what order they are going to likely load in as, it will allow you to kind of know what item you are in your select swap sequence, and if you're good enough at knowing the order at which the items go in select swap from there, it's not so bad.
So it looked like Antlers had picked up the wand here in 2.
Yep, he's going to be happy with that extra combat, especially since I don't know that we've seen the Sword Cave yet.
We have not. So there is a 50% likelihood that this could have rolled swordless.
Also of note, that is one of the first items, if not the first item, we've seen anywhere, so you can eliminate the vanilla items being in play.
And there's the heart container. That looks to be the second item, so that is level 2, and Antlers is going to head on out of there. Looks like the blue Lionel's rolling a little bit on the light side. Now here's another level on Antler's side.
Level 1 if we trust the palette, and if this room drops an item on the right side in the middle, then that will confirm it.
Drops a key.
That placement can only be in that room in level 1 and in no other dungeon, so that guarantees he's in 1. And kind of guarantees our palettes aren't.
Ooh, Crimson taking a death there. Yep, fun percent, shapes, hidden dungeon numbers, but they started with 5 hearts. So there's that, as we're 10 minutes in here.
Yeah, this would be way worse as well if palettes were shuffled, because then you really would only have room drops as indicators of where you were.
Yeah, 15 rooms, that is definitely level 1 quality here, and that looks to be the compass. And that's the legitimate bomb pickup.
Yep, from a bomb dorm.
From a bomb dorm.
Brings new meaning to the word troll dorm, too.
Yeah.
Just looks like a bunch of bombs.
And there's the heart container in a room with a Dodongo. And with no sword to stab, just gonna take out Dodongo the traditional way. Oh yes, mirrored overworld as well.
It's also really amazing how many times this 5-block room has actually rolled that first bomb item placement. I think that's the 4th time we've seen it replicate inside this level 1, which is kind of rare to see. Something green. Is this potentially a bad banana? No, it's something.
Possibly a ring? No, that'd be shown there as well. A shield, maybe?
Yep, looks like it's
oh, it's the big shield. So that means we have Boomstick potentially in play.
Yep, we're gonna see it in the shop somewhere.
Only fitting given the bomb seed that this is here. Bomb percent, fun percent. Oh, and that looks to be, I would imagine, the Bloomerang.
I actually just assumed it was a bomb pack, so I didn't even look, but I guess it must have been the magic boomerang, given it's lit up.
Yeah, I saw right next to the traditional bomb spot, and when Antler had gone up to the menu, that there was a, yeah, the magic bomberang, says chat. So that looks to be the other item in 1. Okay, 30 for a mid-secret, so that could have rolled vanilla. Crimson, meanwhile, looks to be in level 8. If we're going by palettes, I believe Antler's just going into 5.
This is...
or 3, maybe.
I think it's 3, 5, or 7, but since we know which one level 7 is already, I'm going to say I don't know the answer. And point something out in chat really quickly. We are guaranteed all shapes at this point, given that we've seen level 7 is its natural color palette and the shape dungeon based on the map pickup.
Yeah, I'm having a little trouble distinguishing in terms of the palettes, because in a way, like Kermit sang back in the day, it's not easy seeing green.
Yeah, and you throw in the console versus emulator differences in coloration, it also makes it even more complicated and complex.
We have a transport staircase on Crimson's side. Antler's clearing out the room. We've got a Chevy room. Ooh, that's nasty. Yeah, Antler's did pick something up. We'll have to see next time the menu comes in. It was the power bracelet.
Yeah, we're not sure whether or not that's going to be useful yet. I haven't seen indicators as to what the overworld is yet, but to be honest, I've been more interested in watching them get trolled by other things in the overworld, so I may have missed the here already.
And a transport staircase in this reverse C room in 8 for Crimson. And the overworld is either mixed or second quest. And there's 100 secret.
So Antler's is pretty rich at this point. I guess the power bracelet will have some impact potentially then, since it will not just be any roads, assuming they have a... Yeah, if that bomb spot thing up for Antlers, I'm going to go ahead and call it as mixed.
Well, it's definitely mixed overworld, and Antler's gambling with just room for 12 rupees in the wallet and got 100, so that is an 88 overflow loss.
Yeah, I don't know that it's going to impact him too much, though. I mean, you get 3 of them, so that you've still got an extra 100 rupees to play with, and already 5 keys. I think the only thing left for him to really buy outside of a blue ring is either arrows or bait, if he hadn't seen the bait block in level 7 yet.
Or maybe the book.
Yeah, book is nice, but it's something that gets kind of deprioritized in this format.
Yeah, true. There's enough chicanery going on here.
I suppose the only thing that would make it more valuable this time is the fact that we still don't know if it's not an Atlas, and if it's an Atlas, then of course there's a lot of these.
Wow, this man Hanla is taking a bomb beating here. And Crimson gonna have to back on out. Starting items were, it was just one item, the red candle. That's with this Elite 8 flag, you just have one item to start.
Yeah, so Grim's really going to have to find level 2 in a hurry here. Every minute he doesn't find level 2 is another minute that Antlers has a significant combat advantage over him.
Crim there with some nice jukes and moves around all those red dark nuts.
A little bit surprised Antlers is back at this level, though. It's very, very unlikely to be level 6, which is the one he needs. So it's basically a situation where he's diving for item knowledge.
Yeah, maybe trying to see if the ladder's in here is a possibility, as that's a good item to get. Possibly even... goodness, I mean, there's an outside chance that the silver arrow might be in here, maybe the bow. under the possibility that Ganon might be required. And the question, chat, have we seen the Sword Cave? I don't believe we have as of yet.
I never learned how to read, to answer that question, is based on a flag for the book being used to understand the old man. It's basically a play on the book being more of a translator. And so it's usually something that makes you want to pick up the book more, but in this specific seed, we know, based on the hint prices, that we're not going to get any useful information anyway, so you'll be seeing that pretty much all seed, unless they want to pick up the book for the Atlas potential, or for the known boomstick.
So Antlers decides to head on out of 7. And Crimson quickly up to the max rupees as well. So lots of money and nowhere to spend it as of yet.
And the more I think about it, I think both will end up probably buying the book if they see it. But it's another thing to actually identify that it is the book you're picking up, as we see a yellow dungeon that may be the one Antlers is looking for.
And my initial thought was that might be 6, although I think 4 is pretty similar to that as well.
Yep, it's a 50-50 shot at this point. Definitely would assume it's 6 until otherwise, if I'm in Antler's position, or even Crim's position for that matter, since we need Triforce out of there.
There's a transport staircase, and Crim gonna opt to take it. Antler's going to spend a little bit of money on bombs.
Yep, it's vanilla prices, so that also kind of takes some of the sting out of this, as he's going to pick up wood arrows at 80.
Oh! Gets sniped by the Lionel. And there's a heart container for Crimson, up to 8 hearts.
At least the blue Lionels rolled super low. Those are usually some pretty devastating enemies to handle until you've got some defense. Well, we may get an answer to which level Crim is in shortly here. It's level 4, it'll go in the corner with the drop. Did not.
Right. Antlers going in with the take any and picking up the red potion. I don't believe anybody has found bait as of yet. We did see a bait block in 7, but it was a bait block to nowhere. And there is the map. 19 rooms.
Yeah, it's all...
That probably is 4.
Impossible. Yeah, it's impossible to actually be level 6. The reason I say that is if you average out the total number of rooms across 6 dungeons that are possible, your average is 21. So there'd be no situation based on the fact that they cannot be non-sequential as far as their order. Based on, like, you know, 1 always has to be smaller or equal to 2, same for 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Your likely smallest size you'll ever see for a level 6 is somewhere around 23 rooms.
And this is below that. Crimson gonna grab the Triforce for the refill. Antlers, meanwhile, found level 9 up in the, well, for the purposes of this seed, the northwest corner, because of the mirrored overworld. And Crimson going to head back in and see if an item can be procured.
Yeah, he's not seen... I don't think he's seen a single item in a dungeon yet. And if that's the case, then level 4 has a chance to vanilla spawn a ladder, which is probably the big reason why he's choosing to dig.
That was a heart, so...
I do think he's seen hearts somewhere else, so I think that's probably given him the... If anything, he's got the information. He's on a heart shuffle.
Alright, there's money, but there's no room in the wallet. So yeah, I believe that confirms that heart shuffle is on.
Yeah, I think we've got it confirmed, but that's definitely something that he may not have noticed until just now.
Ooh, and I believe that was the white sword item that was picked up. Possibly a bomb upgrade?
Yeah, I don't know if that was the... if that was a blue candle or if that was a bomb upgrade.
I don't think it was silvers because that particular sprite, it had a green bomb to it.
I'm pretty sure Antlers just found level 6 this time, so Antlers certainly is getting a good deal of fortune on finding the dungeons that he needs to in fairly correct order, given that he found the wand in the first dungeon he went into.
Crim running into a door repair. It looks to be rolling pretty high. You can see a little bit of a struggle with that mirrored overworld to get up top there, and there is level 9. Still a ways to go to get into there.
Yep, that's good information to have.
Oh, and there's those high-rolling, high-trolling manhandlers. It's a battle of the bomb projectiles, and Antlers wins that battle. Alright, so it looks like whatever Antlers did get in that white sword item... Oh wait, maybe it was the letter.
Certainly possible. He's already got the potion, so it's...
He's already got the potion, so that's probably what that was. So that wasn't an upgrade, or that wasn't the white sword item, that was the letter. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we're really not going to know what it was until we go to fight Ganon, potentially, and the wand doesn't work against him, because if that happens, then certainly we know that there's got to be a sword somewhere. Crim has finally found level 2, though, and this is a pretty important find for him.
Yes, for those of you just joining us, we're about a half hour into this Elite 8 race, a best of 3 between Crimson and Antlerz44. And there are some additional flags. This particular one rolled fun percent, so all of the items are the same sprite. In this case, they're all rolling as bombs. Now, random percent means that there are a lot of different flags that it's essentially a 50-50 coin flip as to whether they're on. So, in this case, shapes happen to have been rolled as far as the levels. One that is 50-50 that is for the Elite 8 is mirrored overworld. So, the overworld might look a little bit different as you see there with the waterfall screen on Antler's side. And there's also a 50-50 chance that this may be swordless. Which, given that we have not yet seen a sword cave, leads the likelihood of being a possibility.
I suspect Antlerz is heading to the last of the spots that we are potentially looking for in a sword. Yeah, just a random guy that would have, I guess, been a hint for the white or magical sword. So, starting to think that's probably what we got, is a swordless seed.
Crim running into another dead end, opting to go in a different direction here, and well, there is the book for 200. So, definite boomstick in play. Now, if that serves as an atlas, that will certainly help our runners with the shapes in the dungeons. And a candle block clip that transports to that single room.
Don't quite remember where the wand was in here, but I'm kind of hoping, for the sake of kind of a good race here, that Crim finds it so that it evens out the combat a little bit.
There's the heart container in 2. Forgotten Spot is a gambling game. And Crim's going to press his luck with that single transport.
I would kill the mobs in this room, though, still, just because... Hey, swordless confirmed. Look at that. Beautiful. But there still can be a potential corner drop, because there's that weird room with the diamond staircase in one of the other dungeons that kind of makes it so that could be a thing.
Alright, so the power bracelet, that was already picked up, but...
It's the magical flute.
I was looking at red and saw the wrong red up there, so... Yes, so that is our recorder in the Armos spot.
Yeah, you'd think it would be more of a, like, the green bomb in this case, given that its color appears to be more of a yellow in the initial item set, but it kind of defaults to red. And looks like Crim just found the wand. now the real important thing is to realize that he's picked up the 1. If he hasn't realized that, then he won't have a combat advantage for a little while. Oh, Antlers I thought was going to check to see if the flute took him to a different dungeon, and then suddenly juked it, reminding himself, hey, wait a minute, these screens can certainly be recorder spots themselves. I should check them before taking off somewhere.
Well, chat playing the lovable game of Name That Tune, and apparently it sounds like it's Nimbus Land from Super Mario RPG. We'll have to find out at the end if that guess is correct.
It looks like another recorder spot that doesn't exist. Will Antlers take it this time? He will. Where are we going to go? We are going to a place that we didn't want to go, which is a vanilla dungeon.
Vanilla dungeon that was a door repair as well. It looks like vanilla beaten. If it was vanilla unbeaten, then it would have gone to 6.
Now, Grim has figured out with the double blue candle shop there that it's definitely a swordless seed, and I'm not sure he even knows we picked up there yet. He's gonna maybe figure it out. Yep.
I think so, yep. So the recorder on Crimson's side as well.
That should signal that he's going to beaten vanilla, so it's just now a question of whether or not he wants to go back to some of the vanilla locations as an easier way to get around the overworld. Nothing much else. As far as the lead goes, Antlers has a reasonable lead just because of knowledge. Crim, for some reason, bailed out of the Triforce in level 2. Not sure exactly what got him there. But that's only like a couple minutes at most to get in there again, get that Triforce. And then Triforce in level 1 also was not super difficult to kind of work your way to. So it's really more just an item lead as far as information goes.
Yeah, Crimson picking up the pieces here. The wand will certainly help. The only dungeons that Antlers has gotten items out of that Crimson is not is the large shield in level 1 as well as the bloomerang and the power bracelet in 3. Crimson thinking about it, and is going to get the book.
Yep, so we're going to know at this point, next time he goes into a dungeon that he hasn't got a map for, whether or not it's both Atlas and Boomstick, or just the Boomstick. It was a bit of a tough call for him to make, I think, solely because he has only a single key to his name currently. To answer the question, chat, Raph may still logically be required, but since you can wrap to the coast spot thanks to the mirrored overworld, and you can flute to vanilla level 4, you can get around the logic issue. Although as soon as I make mention of not needing said raft,
Antlers goes and finds the raft. So, chat noting, not sure if Crimson realizes that that the wand is available there to him.
it wouldn't be the first, wouldn't be the last time someone has failed to realize that they have wand in their inventory already.
Oh, now he does.
Yeah,
oh, there's the fireworks.
Yep, things are blowing up. Suddenly, he's come to the realization, hey, I've got a lot of combat. I'm gonna go take a ride on this tornado because I did that in maybe not my best spot. Or maybe he's just trying to get to a different location.
So chat noting level 4 looks to be double hearts.
So I guess the real question is, was Antler's ladder blocked from the Triforce in 6 legitimately, or did he assume that and will it actually be the truth? Yes, this is Winter's Side Elite 8. Bonus bracket, I think, is 2 weeks behind the Elite 8 flag, so a lot of our runners are free to win 2 more weeks worth of matches before trying to intentionally get out of the way of said flag set. It's kind of like a chaos seed where you almost want to be away from it, but I don't know, I kind of enjoy getting trolled with some of the flags that can be thrown at me in this game. I think it makes you a little bit better of a player to have everything but the kitchen sink thrown at you and kind of learn by fire.
Crim doing some hard hunting and some dark nut exploding.
It's kind of incredible that we're fluting at all of these spots that I think they picked the right spots on a lot of them. But very few of these second quest recorder spots that are 50-50 and mixed not opening.
Crimson taking a death there. The blue Lionel's being a little trolly. And Antlers now, I believe, has found the Mag's Bomb upgrade.
Yep, that's definitely a magical sword if you can't pick it up.
Well, now with an extra heart here, maybe 11 hearts will do the trick. Figures, why not? I'm right here. And 11 is no-go.
Yep, there's a huge likelihood that Antlers can pick up the... Oof, yeah, I think accidentally burned his potion there, but because of the way the randomizer works with the flag for the magical sword, it could either roll 12 or it could roll 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I guess 10% increments in that case. So 60% chance that 12 would do it for him.
I don't think Crimson has been here in one yet, so I believe that it is an Atlas.
Yep, so it's got two purposes, and it'll make 9 exploration that much easier. You cannot wand a stun Dodongo, you have to kill it with bombs, but you can use the boomstick to slow it down and then prepare a bomb for when it comes out of that stun, so that's kind of a small little quirk that you can take advantage of with the boomstick.
We've got some sort of an item here for Antlers, and it is a heart.
Hey, you can go back and pick up that bomb upgrade, or the bomb pack, depending on what it is.
$13 hearts for Crimson. Alright, so 23 rooms here. It looks like possibly level 5, I think.
You are correct. We know it has to be 5 because we've already seen 7, and we've seen that 4, I believe you counted it out to be 19 rooms, because you were chancy and did math on stream, so with that in mind, this fits right in.
Yeah, the Zelda nuances don't have 100% down, but mathing and streaming, that's where I pick up the slack. Alright, so now we have level 3 here on Crimson's side. With an ink blot that... I don't know. I'm kind of getting a Number Johnny 5 vibe from it. A little short circuit reference for those children of the 80s like myself. Now, maybe I'm the only one here, but I'm one of the... I don't know if I'm one of the few or if it's a consensus thing. I liked the sequel better than the first. Bigger fan of Short Circuit 2 than the original.
See, I'm just looking at chat to see what all they make out of this reference, how many of them actually get it. Okay, so that's something that I just saw Crim pick up on the ground, was some red bomb. From what I can see, I will check real quickly.
A little instant replay review.
Yep, he has a red bomb in his arrow spot where it is green on Antler's side. So, somewhere along the line, we may have picked something up that's kind of weird. Let me make sure of that. I think he may have something in the bow category there, or silvers even. I'm not sure how they roll in fun percent, but we'll take a look the next time he gets up there. Yes, he's got a red bomb in the bow arrow spot.
Now, oh, and it looks like it does reveal those hints as well, as now it says, I declare bankruptcy. So the book is translating Atlas and Boomstick this time around. And chat noting that, okay, that Ant had bought arrows.
Yeah, chat's saying silvers would be blue, and I kind of, sort of agree to that, but I think that the bomb would be on the right side of the bow arrow situation, and it's on the left, so I'm thinking it's another one of those weird circumstances where fun percent may have altered the color of the silvers to match what it could with the bombs.
Alright, well there looks to be a vanilla bomb upgrade. 100 rupees for 4 bombs. Doesn't look like that was anything other than a bomb pickup. Trying to see what that item was in the like that Antlerz just picked up. That was Five's Compass, okay. Ooh, Crimson picked off.
Looks like Antlerz is going to bail out of 5. Don't know if it's because he got item they just picked up there, or if he's blocked, or if he's just had enough of it.
Yeah, the coast item is some sort of a green bomb.
99.99% sure that that is a bow on the coast at this point.
Sounds about right.
It could also be the regular boomerang, but what it won't be is it won't be a raft or ladder, I don't think, because it'll be a double bomb in both of those scenarios.
So we've got bombs and pancakes going on over on Crim's side. Oh, there's a double sprite. And it's heart number 14.
to answer the question in chat, the reason I don't think it's the any key is we've had a couple of items that have just a trace of red in them go full red bomb like the recorder. So I kind of think that that's what the any key is also going to do. My goodness, this has really kind of come down to a screeching halt as far as the runner.
Yeah.
It was a very, very quick find for Antlers, and it looked like he was going to right order just about everything, and then the ladder block potentially in his way now. It's really made it difficult for him to progress, and I think Crim is probably only another heart container or two away from running out of floor hearts in dungeons to find and staircase hearts. Yeah, I know we started with 5 hearts instead of 3, but still, I think he's really close. I don't think he's found one of the take any ones for certain. Maybe even 2 of them. I didn't see whether he took a potion for one, so... So with that in mind, yeah, I still think he's only got maybe 1 left. 2 at most.
Chat invoking the presence of CJ, and lo and behold, he appears in chat. Alright, Crim gonna go ahead and pick up that level 5 Triforce, possibly for the health refill.
Yeah, I think Antlers may be looking to find the white sword item for this seed. I think he's found everything, but maybe level 8 I didn't see. If he saw it, I know Crim has seen it. Speaking of Crim and level 8, looks like Crim is going back to level 8 to look for items, and as far as we know, it can still have the ladder, which would be very, very useful in the seed.
That would be an ideal item to find here.
In fact, I'd go out on a limb on that and say if he finds the ladder, it directly impacts who is in the lead at this point. So even though Antlers has just about as much dungeon knowledge and will eventually kind of find his way there, the silvers alone kind of give you a chance to have an advantage in level 9, and putting the ladder on top of that would take it one step further.
I think that was the room that Crim had to up A out of before because of the blockade. Oh, and it looks like the white sword item is the any key over on Antler's side.
Yep, so it's not what he really wanted the white sword item to be, but it's certainly got its uses.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Antlers isn't complaining about that.
Alright. What was that item? I didn't even get to see what he had in his inventory there from side. It's either,
Chat saying ladder.
yeah, it has to be ladder or raft. I just didn't see what slot it fell into. Alright, they're saying it's the right top slot, so it's definitely the ladder. So advantage now is definitely on CrimsonAvix's side, I would say. No doubt. So he's going to go back in. I think the only thing that I would say to do before that would be to check out your coast item and confirm whether or not that is Lord Banana, which is no good, or Bow, which is very good.
Having the knowledge of what the inventory looks like is certainly helpful here, and yeah, Crim probably wondering if he did enter the wrong seed at this point.
Wrong seed, maybe even wrong tournament. A lot of people signed up for this because I saw random percent looks fun. And it was fun, especially in the first round of flags, but then it gets a little bit more difficult as we go. And some of the flags, I think even I as a tournament admin kind of regret agreeing to allow into the shuffle.
And I, as a tournament commentator, am glad I don't compete.
Looks like maybe
another heart for Crim. 15
yeah.
now.
Yep, that time it's 100% heart containment. Went from 14 to 15. So now I really want to know what's on the coast.
Well, Antlers is here in 8. If he's able to pick up the ladder, he might be able to solve our mystery here. Jessica Fletcher would be proud.
Antlers is definitely in the right location, though. Back in the level 8, so he's not going to be too far behind as long as he doesn't figure himself to be ladder blocked here.
Oof. Antlers taking a death to the Troll Handler, and Crimson having to double back a little bit after getting a death from a murder bat. And yes, Chad, even I didn't know that I would be making, in the same race here, I've made a Short Circuit 2 reference and a Murder, She Wrote reference. Even I don't know where I'm going to go sometimes. And another heart, that is the max 16 for Crim. Maybe that was number 17 there? I'll have to see when the inventory pops up. Oh, that was the compass.
Yeah, it's not going to be a double floor at this point, so it was a compass. What is this item?
That's a ring.
Oh, hey,
that's the red
useful.
ring. Screen changing color there. That was the giveaway for me on that one.
Yep, that's to give away that perhaps I'm out of sync.
Yep, that is level 7 that Crim is in. Antlers, meanwhile, in level 8.
So again, I wonder if Crim maybe doesn't realize what dungeon he's in specifically this time. Because he's still digging this with Triforce and the floor and staircase items, I believe. I guess maybe he didn't notice that he stepped on the heart container.
It did come up very quickly. I just looked up at the right time and saw it go from 15 to 16. So the more seemingly needless digging that he does here, the more time it gives for Antlers to find that ladder and basically even things up.
I'm just impressed. We still have a lot of the same vanilla flags in play, but one of the more common ones that we kind of see is either like vanilla item locations or drop in their usual rooms, even if it's shapes, they kind of trend that way. And this flag set should have rolled more of those, but I guess decided to troll them in just about every regard instead for once.
Seems to have a nice mix of randomized things and vanilla things to throw off the expectations. And the King of the World offering a bomb upgrade with essentially unlimited bombs thanks to the boomstick. And being short 39 rupees, Crimson opts to pass.
Antlers doesn't know exactly where to go in this level 8 because he doesn't have the Atlas. That's really actually causing him a lot of problems.
That might end up being a, well, I was going to say, we're going back to back here, so there won't be a post-race question. But if there was a post-race interview, that would certainly be a question to ask.
Yeah, well, I certainly think Crim has failed to realize he picked up a heart on the floor. There's no reason for him to have dug this long otherwise, so we'll see what he decides to do next. So I think he's got almost all the rooms. Looks like, what, 2 more rooms?
I believe so. Opting to pass there on the Triforce as it's already been acquired. There isn't much, though, left of those 28 rooms.
We may have something finally for Antlers, though. Will this catch him up some?
There is the ladder. Now here is Antlers back in 7. And Crim gonna go back into 3.
Yep. As Chad has noted, I think that Crim does have both items out of this level 3, so this is a redig. Maybe he has not located level 6. Oh, I'm absolutely tempted for my next round to go ahead and force fun percent as Loser's Remorse if I think that my opponent is going to get trolled. Fun percent is legitimately fun. It's wacky. It's something you don't see every day. We don't get to play it enough. Happy that we see it this time. Oh, I guess he did not have both items out of here.
You know, silvers are in 3.
I'm guessing the big thing is I think Antlerz is going to pick up this book now. He's had enough of the shenanigans. Big takeaway for me in this is that somehow your starting sprite has a bigger impact on what the arrows look like. Because Grim had red bombs and Antlerz had green bombs, and so they both apparently had wood, but they were 2 different color setups. So now that Grim has picked up a dark blue, it's silvers. And yes, the item sprite shuffle is remorsable, if that was the question, Chad. So if they don't want to do sprite shuffle at all, or if they want to set it to a specific one, that is allowable. It's certainly one of the ones that's on the table for sure for remorse, in my opinion, but I still think I would rather know specifically what dungeon I'm in at all times if I'm worried about kind of where I've been, where I haven't been.
Now with the ladder, Antlerz able to traverse a little bit further here through level 6, 27 rooms in play looking for that Triforce, and that will grant him access to level 9.
I'm not sure if Antlerz assumes that silvers are forced to 9 yet or not. I think he's just trying to go to 9 so that he can figure out whether or not he needs to find those. It certainly is very plausible in his circumstance that they're in 9, but that's definitely not the primary objective for him.
We picked up a red bomb that wasn't the compass, it wasn't a heart. Is it possible that that was the red candle that they both started with?
Very possible. You know what I think happened to Crib in this level is he hasn't been walking at the wall, so he may...
Oh, or the map, yeah.
He may not have realized that walkthrough is potentially on in this level, too. I don't know if that's what you need to get to the Triforce. He's bombing it, so he's definitely confused as to what's going on. Will he walk into it? I mean, it's got to cross your mind at some point that, wait a minute, there can't be a transport into unless there's a segment.
I mean, it is already segmented once with that lone room off to the side.
Yeah, but shapes can...
double segmented?
Shapes levels 1 through 5, or 1 through 4, excuse me, they cannot have a segment within, like, their primary, like... The only time they get a staircase is when they actually have more than one piece. So that should really be the signal to Crim that he has to go push the wall in that room. I think he can't possibly leave this dungeon again without checking. But I don't think it's really impacted his ability to get around this, or to, you know, I don't think it's costing him too much time unless he continues to look throughout this entire dungeon for a staircase that doesn't exist.
Here is Antlers in level 9.
Yep. And an atlas in hand, so he gets to see the jigsaw puzzle that is level 9. Now, in my opinion, the coast item is one of the boomerang, and hey,
oh wow! Just like that, GG Antlers.
Well, that's a gift of a level 9 for both of them at this point, I think.
Yeah, GG's the official SRL time, 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 41 seconds. And because we're going back to back here, Crimson dropping the automatic forfeit. And chat was correct. Nimbus Land from Super Mario RPG was the recorder tune. Congratulations those who successfully named that tune. Now, there's a conversation going on in the IRC chat. Yeah, no, definitely no triple header. Games 1 and 2 are tonight. If a game 3 is needed, then that will be a little further down the line here. But they will schedule that if necessary. So right now there's an explanation as to what was going on. And Crimson noting in the chat that he had forgotten that the walkthroughs were part of the flags.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, I don't know that it really impacted the end result, because by the time you went back to 2 to kind of check that, Antlers was just in the process of finding the Triforce in 6. I think that you could certainly suggest that Antlers had a couple minutes lead on him.
Oh, absolutely. And then Antlers gambling that Ganem not being required. Gambling and winning, that was the way to go. Chat noting remorse turn off the walk-through walls. I don't know if that's necessarily the case here, but All right, they're going to be taking a little bit of a break here, so stay tuned. Game 2 of our doubleheader coming up in moments here on Randomania. Crimson and Antler going at it once again. Antler's looking to go for the best 2 out of 3 sweep. Crimson looking to even it up and force a deciding game 3.